Coming up, are you worried about paying off your credit card bills? If so, you are not alone. What you need to know about credit card debt relief right here in the state of Illinois. Credit card debt can be really difficult to deal with, especially during the holiday season. According to new data, about 47% of people are now impacted by credit card debt. Luckily, though, there is help available to you in order to navigate through your financial struggles. I'm joined now by MMI financial educator Thomas Nitzsche. Thomas, thanks for coming in. We said 47% of people are going to face this or are going through this. It's so common. What does Illinois look like as far as credit card debt goes compared to other states?
Right. So we've seen a significant increase in the number of people reaching out to us for help this year. It's up about 25% over last year. And the average consumer coming to us for debt help has about 30 grand in unsecured debt, which is up also significantly over the last few years. So really, it's important for people to understand that there is help available. You shouldn't feel alone, because we see that debt stigma keeps people from reaching out for help. But it's so very common. Please know, again, 47% of people are in your shoes if you are one of these people. And, unfortunately now it isn't just, splurging on extras that we're putting on our credit cards. I mean, we're paying for groceries, we're paying for gas and for the essentials. Right. So what we've been seeing over the past couple of years is that people's average household budget, so what they have coming in versus what they have going out, that gap keeps increasing. So a couple of years ago it was about $150 a month that our average client was short every month. That's now up to $300 a month. So every month you're thinking, you're short that much. So credit cards are a relatively safe, familiar tool for people to use, and so that shortfall gets put on a credit card. And then over time, of course, you run out of runway on that card, right? And so at some point you might have a medical issue or underemployment, unemployment, you might get divorced, have an additional child, and that financial shock of that life change can then really put you in a hard spot. And that's usually at the point at which people turn to us for help. Okay, so what can people do who are watching to really pay that debt down? Right, so the first thing is creating a plan, right? Nobody likes the word budget, but create a spending plan. Understand what's coming in, what's going out, because most of the consumers that we work with have not done that, or at least done that in quite some time. The second thing to understand is that most creditors are willing to work with you. One study found that about 3 in 4 consumers who asked for a lower interest rate got it, so that's a great phone call to make, and you might have to ask more than once. So if you get a no the first time, try again, because even if you get a few percentage points shaved off your interest rate, it can really help you make progress on that debt. So that's really the first place to start. And then thirdly, don't feel ashamed to ask for help. If you feel overwhelmed, there are places that you can turn for free or low-cost, unbiased advice. Nonprofits like MMI can help you navigate that, create a spending plan, and we can also work with your creditors to reduce the interest rates on average down to about 7% and get you on a path to be debt-free within 4 years. You are with Money Management International, a nonprofit. Correct. So what does that mean? I turn to you for help with my credit card. Do I have to pay you for that help? Right, so consultations are always free. People can go online, moneymanagement.org, or give us a call any time of day. We're open 24/7 to get a financial analysis, to create a budget, and then we can look at your creditors to see how we can help you reduce those interest rates. From there, if a debt management plan is a good fit for you, there's a nominal fee for that. It averages about $25 a month, but we're able to get the interest rates down to as low as 0, actually, on some accounts. So it can be really worthwhile, and that expense offsets itself with the interest rates that you get that are lower. So it can be a really great way to achieve becoming debt-free, without getting into anything risky like a debt settlement or a bankruptcy, which is obviously detrimental to your credit. So it's a really good place to start because it doesn't cost you anything but your time. How long would it take, you think, if somebody reached out today to get the debt to a place where they feel comfortable and they feel like they do have a plan? More in control. That's a good point. So about 80% of the clients that we work with say that they feel reduced stress after their very first talk with us, very first consultation. Just admitting to somebody that you've got this issue and that you need some help can really have a freeing effect and really make people feel more empowered. Once they start a debt management plan, we are able to get the interest rates down, and that's effective within the first couple of months. Obviously, once you see those interest rates lowered, you can feel another burden sort of being relieved from you. And then the average client's on the plan for about 4 years. They become debt-free after 4 years. They also increase their credit score about 84 points along the way. So once they finish the plan, they're in a better position to buy a home, get a new car, get more credit, whatever it might be. Use it carefully, obviously. But they're in a lot better position financially, and then they're debt-free, which is obviously a great feeling. Last question for you. Where do you stand on opening new credit cards for the holiday season?
season, because I feel like everywhere I go, someone says, do you want to open this account? And, you know, I know that it can ding my credit score, but for people who have already high, you know, amounts on their credit cards, is this a good idea?
Typically, if you're already experiencing a lot of credit card debt, you don't want to open more lines of credit unless it's to get a balance transfer. If you have good credit and you can get a balance transfer card that'll offer you 0% for 18, 21 months, then by all means, open that new account, transfer those high interest balances over the 0%, and then try to pay enough on that card that you have it paid off within that promotional rate time frame.
Okay.
If you don't, it'll go back up to that high interest rate and you're kind of back where you started. What we see is a lot of people will take a balance transfer or a debt consolidation loan, and then they don't pay it. They keep using the cards, and then they end up with a debt consolidation loan and more credit card debt. So it's really important to sort of stop the bleeding, make sure that you're able to pay for all your basic living and housing expenses basically out of pocket, and then have a plan to pay that debt down safely.
All right, thanks so much. Money Management International is where you can reach out. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be right back.